Yeah, so I feel her name is Serafana Adura, and she's the twin flame of Thoth, and I feel her around me.
And why do you feel like she's around you right now?
I felt her around me a lot lately. She's very connected to Lemuria and the Atlantis timelines, and she knows that we wanted to talk about some of the history, like the real history of the United States and some of the ancient megaliths that were found under Lake Michigan. And she said she can absolutely help us receive that information.
Thank you so much and welcome. I don't think I've ever connected with you before. So welcome here. And what, um, so to back it up, there was just an understanding that under Lake Michigan, there were columns that look like it could be our version of Stonehenge. What was that about? What was going on down there?
They're showing me the columns are set up in a spiral and it moves the electrons into a spiral, and it works a lot like Stonehenge, but it's a little bit different because it was set to the strength of the portal. Like they're showing me it's so cool because it's set up in like the solfeggio sequence in that pattern. So the electrons come in and it pulls the electromagnetic frequency into a spiral pattern and it creates this portal. And so you could use this with like spaceships, or you could even just stand in the middle of it during certain times of the year to go to different places in the construct.
So is the Lake Michigan like a man-made lake or is that a natural lake?
There are parts of it that are man-made, but it's also they're showing me that it wasn't there before the flood. Like they're showing me that it used to all be land, and now once the flood happened and there was a lot less ice, a part of Earth, then there's a lot more things that are underwater now because we have more water on Earth.
It's amazing when you say about the spiral pattern because just yesterday I saw a video of the whales using their um, the bubbles from their spout to hunt, and they do it in a spiral pattern, which is very interesting that this is coming up. And you're saying that the spiral pattern helps with the energy, creating the solfeggio. Is there any other thing that the spiral pattern does?
Yeah, I'm asking them what they use, what the whales use it for. It creates a vortex of energy. So it's almost like I'm seeing the whales like um swimming in a circle to create this like this portal for their prey, or for yeah, for their prey.
Hmm. Does it just alter them or confuse them? What does the portal do?
Yeah, it puts them into almost like this vortex of water where they can't get out so that the whale can just like come in and grab it. This is like a natural thing to whales because they understand it. Whales are very highly conscious, and so they understand sacred geometry and they understand the natural ways of being, and it's the solfeggio frequency that is a natural part of nature. So to them it's just natural for them to work in that way and to create that geometrical structure.
So beautiful. Was the original Stonehenge and the Stonehenge in the that's built underneath the lake, were those built around the same time?
The one built in Lake Michigan is older than Stonehenge.
Really? We're taught with the United States that we feel like such a new country that one would assume that the one in the UK is older.
They're showing me that the United States, it used to all be one continent and that it was a part of Lemuria like 600,000 years ago.
Were Lemuria and Atlantis really connected?
Yeah, so
Um,
they're showing me that so Lemuria was actually here first, just for like not as long, like but there was just more of a feminine way of being in this realm first, and that was Lemuria. And so the very, very original Lemuria was the United States and Hawaii, and then there was a continent of Mu as well. And then Atlantis came after. And then they coexisted at the same time for a period. But there have
yeah.
also been many cycles of Lemuria, but the United States is so much more special than we've been taught because cycle one of Lemuria was the land that we know of the United States. And that's why it has been turned in to such a polarized masculine society because the other polarization of it was this beautiful feminine energy, this beautiful feminine way of being, just in a natural flow state.
So were the indigenous tribes here in the United States, are they uh are they descendants of Lemuria?
Yeah, so especially in Hawaii, and then they're showing me a lot of it has either been lost or covered up. There is there's another place in they're showing me like Ohio where they knew that they were very connected to Lemuria and the Hopi. They a lot of their principles came from Lemuria.
But so recently this just popped up in my head. So maybe a month ago we found out that I had a ship that I was connected to that was over the Grand Canyon, which was interesting to me because I don't really have any connection with the Grand Canyon. I've never even been there. I don't even talk about it. But this last week, I saw a picture of what looked like could be a Sphinx left over in the Grand Canyon. What can you tell me about the energy of the Grand Canyon?
The energy of the Grand Canyon is so beautiful because it holds the frequency of both the Egypt and so the Atlantis so it holds both the frequency of the Egyptian realm and the Lemurian realm because you have the Egyptian template found there, like you can see the structure of a sphinx of granite rocks, but then it also allows for the mother to flow through the Grand Canyon. It allows nature to be in flow with this beautiful energy. And so it embodies the mother goddess consciousness and the masculine energy at the same time.